Hello everybody, this is Ryan and I'm here for a video for AEP 858. This time I'm going to talk a little bit about module number 2. So module number 2 is right here. It'll be released here soon. So let's get into this. So module 2 has two pieces, an A and a B. Let's go with the A first. So in this module, you're going to be studying demographic data. So the modules, they look all the same. Your PLO and CLO right here. The rationale is here. Here's your content knowledge that you're going that you need to take a look at. Module, you're going to do our role play. In this class, we focused a lot on leadership and the many different leadership roles you might assume as a result of the work you're doing here at Fort Hays. So in this, for this module, your superintendent has asked you to make a presentation about the demographic makeup of your school community. So you're going to do that in two ways. One, you're going to make a short presentation and short narrated presentation, and then you're going to make a little infographic of some kind that you could give to your board members as a takeaway, something they could take and hand out to other people. So take a look at this module. Here's a couple of examples. Like here is a presentation that I made for our board. You can take a look at it if you want to. Now remember, don't copy what I do. The things that I do are real life examples of demographics, but this module is also enrollment head counts and things like that. So there's a lot more in there. So don't copy what I do. You want to focus on the demographics of your school in terms of what you've learned from the reading. This is just a style that I made just to show you kind of what it could look like. Then we make a little graphic here, infographic, and this is called by the numbers. This is something that we made for our district. So those are a couple of examples of what you're going to do. The other exception here is my presentation is not narrated. You need to make sure you do that. So as you're working on this module, you need to do a couple other things. One, you need to think about 3 reasons it is important to consider demographics data. You need to think about 2 things you were thinking when you're working on this module, 2 pieces of reflection, and think about 1 question that you might ask. And these are going to be included in your 2B, including task section. We'll look at that in a minute. Now, when you make your infographic, make sure that you're using some sort of a tool. You can use Canva, Pictograph, and Venngage, Google Docs. The one that I made here, the one that we made, is just a simple Google Doc. Cool. But again, don't copy what I did. You need to make something that represents your school district. And then you're going to make a presentation and narrate it to talk about it. So you have a presentation, and then you have a handout. Now, when you make your infographic, you should not have to pay for anything. This is a no-cost class in terms of resources, so don't pay. If you do use the like Canva, where they make you pay to download it, just screenshot it and put it onto a Google Doc and share it that way. So so your infographic is there. Now for your presentation, you're just going to make a Google presentation. Keep it simple. Going to make it. You're going to record it, and it's going to be narrated. And it needs to be less than 5 minutes. Need to be concise, get to the point, and move on. There are a couple of pieces here about a quality presentation. Take a look at that. And then some tips for a quality narrative presentation. A couple of things that I want you to understand as a result of doing this module. Not only are we learning about demographics, but we're also learning about presentation and how to do them professionally. When you make a presentation in Google Docs, or any presentation where you're adding text to a presentation, do not add it in sentence form. And what I mean is, you're not going to read word for word for your presentation. You're going to use phrases, summaries, pointers, things like that you're going to say. Then as a part of your narration, you're going to elaborate. So it is not appropriate to read word for word from your presentation. So this is a practice. Again, it's a learning experience. Work to make your presentation, add the key points, and then as your part of your narration, you're going to elaborate. That's the same thing you would do if you present to your Board of Education or any other people. People don't want to listen to you read a slide. Just let them put bullet points there and then narrate and elaborate. So again, it's going to be less than 5 minutes. You need to make sure you cite your sources using APA 7. That's pretty good there. I'll show you a resource on that in a minute. Remind you of resource. Please make sure when you add your citations that you remove the blue text and the underlining. Google is known for adding that on because I think they're doing what's right, but make sure you take that off. Okay, so that's Module 2A. Let's go back and look at Module 2B. And by the way, look at your rubrics. Right here, look at your rubrics. Here's your 2B. It's like this. So remember a little bit ago I had those 3 reasons. I had the 2 things and the 1 question. That's where you're going to put it. And then you're going to do your relevancy and your reflection pieces right down here. Okay. One last thing I want to show you, just remind you, if you have trouble with your APA, here's a resource right here for APA. And then here's a document that I made, a little quick reference sheet. You can take a look at that. Purdue OWL or Online Writing Lab, APA is a good place to go. But this is a good little quick reference sheet. And so you notice here, Google likes to do this. Please don't make sure your text is now blue and underlined. That's all I got. If you have questions, make sure you reach out. Thank you for your time.